So just so you can see what I'm dealing with, this right here is raised up and it's been like that for quite a while. So we'll try to fix that today. And for me to do that, I'm going to have to replace the radiator support bracket, as mine cracked from a collision a long time ago. And remove the air deflector. Alright, you can see where it's broke right here. Not looking good, so I'm going to take off the grill next. And we're starting to get closer to it, so I'm going to take off this one. Disconnect the electrical from the headlight. It should be a push down and pull out. Right. This little tab, you just push that down. Oh, that one didn't really seem to lock into anything, so just pull it straight out. Can't really get them mixed up. And the two on the other side are kind of hard to see, but it's the same thing. Pull. There's the squeeze in there. So there's a squeeze on here, and I apparently broke it off of both of them, but you're supposed to just squeeze onto that and pull it out. These, you just kind of rotate and they'll slowly come out. This is actually to set the height for the hood. So this is a primary component we'll be messing with. And we got one on the other side. All these clips should just pop out. Yep. Alright, next up we got to get rid of that hood release. And there's a bolt right back here. And there's another one on the other side. Right there. Okay, and looking underneath you can see that this is mechanical cable, so we have to so you have to line up the cable so that this pin can pull forward. There we go. So if you're doing this, you can avoid the part about having to try to unscrew this first, because I can't pull it out anyway. But you do have to take off the cable, and it's just wrapped around these three pins. Right, so just undo that. And there's three more over here, so make sure it's undone from all that. There's a couple of plastic clips holding the front bumper on, so this one, it's already done. And the way this is supposed to work is this should just unthread from it. There we go, this one actually works. Got one. and then pull that clip out. I seem to be determined to break every single one of these. So now we got some bolts. Looks like everything here is 10 millimeter. This one's a little different than the other ones because it's got this tip. And there's one more just underneath, right there. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. Feeling underneath, there's one right underneath here. And I got these two 8 millimeter bolts. Oh, you know what? That's the crash sensor. Front airbag satellite sensor. Yeah. So if your airbag ever goes off, that's the airbag sensor. You can see there's a lip. This hardware is gonna have to. I'm gonna have to jam that over the lid. And she's out. Just so you can see what it looks like with that removed. And look at all the components. There's a little squeeze right here. Yeah. Okay. So this is the one I'm going to put in. You can see here these two holes where the bolts will go in, and this is going to sit on the other side of that, through this hole, through that hole. However, this one's got a sneak because these holes aren't punched all the way through. So if I was trying to feel for that to try and get this in, when I had this on the other side, like if I try to put this in first and then put this in, I would have a real hard time finding those holes. So looks like I'm gonna have to punch those out. See daylight through them. Go like that. Let's get these mostly started. Just trying to make sure that I get that started in straight. I definitely don't want that going in sideways. So what I'm going to try to do here is as much of as I can to connect this cable, this electrical, but most importantly this, because trying to get to this with this installed is going to be difficult. So there's these two lineup pins, those go in these, well, that one hole. So what's the right thing to do? The right thing to do is to drill that hole. Am I going to do that? No. With it in, the cable has to come around from the front and fit in, but I can't quite do it because there's too much material in the way, so I have to nail the pin in. Pull it through. Alright. Okay. Slide it this way. Get that open in. Came with some hardware, so we got brackets that are going to go on the side and a bunch of other stuff which I assume is for other models. So this bracket looks like we go in here, so we'll just slap in, then put the bolt in the side, and of course it does not quite line up, so I'm going to have to take the bracket off the one that we've already got. Feels like it's sitting on something, but I think that just might be the way that it's molded. Oh, okay. Just had to fit in. Now we got something. The goal here, of course, is get all the bolts started. Not tight. For all these plugs here, one down. And since I broke almost all the clips, I'm going to try to use these by GOOACC. It's a tight fit, but it seemed to work. And this bolt goes through a hole underneath here and then threads into the plastic up here. Now we can really tighten all this. Alright, so we have to get this peg in that hole, and we have to get this slot wrapped around this screw. We have to figure out how to get these back in. The far one's easy, so I'm going to do that first. We got two kinds of screws. One of them is a little finer thread and this one's a little coarser, and the threads are a little thicker. So these ones are going to go into the plastic and this is going to go into the metal. Of course right here it doesn't even really matter because this is broke off. That's the new headlight. But this is where that one would go. The thicker, coarser thread. This is what should be there. Before we put the grill on, we need to deal with this. Right. The important part is that this needs to line up with this pin. If it's off a little bit, which I guess it doesn't really seem to be a problem on this one, then you'll push it down, you'll pull the hood release inside the car, and it won't be able to spring back up. So you'll have to have somebody out here pulling up on the hood while you pull the release to get it to go up. So make sure that that pin is lined up with that lineup. And if you're having problems with it moving around too much, so you lift it up and down too, just mark where it's at, wherever you need it to be, and then lift the hood, and then you can tighten the nuts down, the bolts down. Now we need to pay special attention to this and to this, because when we close the hood, this is the only thing that's going to be keeping it up. We're going to drop the hood. See how it sits. This line on the left is really good. This line on the right is still a bit high. Up on both sides until it no longer sits flush. That way I know it's sitting on top of this. Actually, that just feels good. Doesn't have any gift. I'm going to leave it just like that. And right here you just want to make sure that those clips line up with those lineups. So have some that are underneath and some that are over top. These holes actually seem to line up alright. So there's supposed to be 2 in here, but I lost one a long time ago. Those clips that I used before are too big, so I'm going to try these ones that are a little narrower. Yeah, it's still a little too big, but it'll work for me until I can get something better.